we're moving forward with aggression and coming for everything that you have for us. Now, God, anoint our ears today, anoint our eyes today, that we hear and see what we need to see. I command now and I prophesy mega expansion, mega increase, mega wealth, mega influencers to overtake us, to come into our organizations. I thank you, Lord, that we're accurate and precise in our trading. I declare now that we have 6-figure traders, 7-figure traders, 8-figure traders, 9-figure traders, that we will not stop, that we will come into all that you called us to. Now, angels, anoint Jazz and all of this team as they articulate us to move forward quickly and easily. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, Jazz.
Amen. Amen, amen, amen. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, I'm excited, guys. So here's the thing. It's 11:04, and I'm not going to waste any of you guys' time. We got a lot of information coming your way this morning. For those of you that haven't met myself, and if I haven't met you guys, I just want to say great morning. My name is Jazz Williams, 29-year-old.
Bomb, by the way. You're bomb, by the way. Y'all need to listen to Jazz. He the man. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jewel. Jazz Williams, 29 years old, based here out of Atlanta, Georgia. Guys, I seen this concept 2.5 years ago. My background is in the United States Air Force, and when my wife and I seen this, we were just looking for something more. We was looking for something different. You know, I was sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck, getting paid on the 1st, broke by the 5th, praying that the 15th came on the weekend so I can get paid 2 days ahead of time. And so, boom, we get introduced to this industry of multi-level marketing, and I had to figure it out. And so early on, one of the stages of figuring this thing out was figuring out how to build a business. See, a lot of people come into the industry, but they honestly never understand how to actually build a business. They just constantly just put people in. And that was me. Guys, when I first got into the industry of multi-level marketing, my wife and I, we were rookie of the years. We were number 2 recruiters in our very first company. And we put in well over 100+ sales, but we didn't rank up, as high as we should have, having that many sales that we put in. So today I want to just really come straight, just give it straight to you guys and share with you guys ways where you can actually build your business, right? So I'm not going to be the person to open up this call. We actually have an amazing couple that we've been friends with for a few years now. They're wedding photographers. They're Platinum 2000s here in I Am Mastery Academy. This isn't their first rodeo. They've been in the industry for well over 5 years. And I've watched this couple literally build leaders, build belief, and teach people what it is they need to do and say in order to grow their business. Because a lot of people come in the door and they're afraid. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to say it. And so what this couple has done is they've created a blueprint, literally a 2-step blueprint to help brand new traders learn the skill set of inviting and to teach duplication in one's business. And so, guys, we just left Clarksville, Tennessee, where they did a meeting with over probably 30, 40 people in the room. And I'm watching them just help people pop ranks like Platinum 150, Platinum 600, left and right. And they're growing, they're expanding. And I'm really excited that you guys actually get to hear from them. Now, understand, this type of invite may not be for everyone, but I found that it worked for me. It's working for them. And I wanted to just, maybe share it with you all as well. Now, understand, this couple, their background is in sales. I was talking to Tom yesterday, and he was telling me his first job, his second job, his third job, and every job he's had has been sales. And so one thing for me, I'm really horrible about scripting out what it is that I say, because I've been doing this for 7 years. So I just know how to do it, but I don't know how to put it on paper and show other people sometimes word for word what it is that I did. See them, this is where they specialize. And so when you guys leave this call, you're going to have a blueprint on how to go build your business and how to actually go to the next rank. So I'm excited to introduce you guys to one of my dearest friends, Ton and Tiffany Henderson, here out of Atlanta, Georgia, actually Sugar Hill, Georgia. Ton and Tiff, were you guys able to make the call?
Absolutely. How are you, Jazz?
I'm doing great.
Hello.
We got 6 excited people. We got Dr. Jewel. The floor is yours, guys.
Yes.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Jazz, for that warm introduction. And it's funny, man. I was like, wow, we've been in the game 5 years. We've been knowing Jazz and Tyra for years. And, you know, I honestly look at you as one of my younger brothers, bro. But the funny thing is, you talked about recruiting. So in our past business, we brought over well over 100 people, but we were just recruiters. We didn't understand how to go through them. And it wasn't until literally about a month ago when I had a brief conversation with you and you kind of told us about your system, how you're bringing people in. And I was like, wait a minute, say that again? And then you mentioned it again. I was like, say that one more time. See, what you didn't realize is I was actually recording you, and I actually took that information and I started to apply it. And it worked so well that we had a brand new person who joined our team, and she had her list. We called 11 people, and 10 of the individuals said they were going to jump on one of the calls. And for the first time ever, I had a brand new person excited to pick up the phone and call people. And so I did the first half, and then my beautiful wife, she came in and just took over and really just made everything better. So I want to kind of share our screen so we can show you exactly what we did. So if you don't mind, let me see if I can you allow me to share the screen?
You all have to make, oh, that's perfect. Okay.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. This here. And can you see it, Jazz? We're good to go. All right, perfect. So what is 3SP? Because I asked you this about 5 times. So previously in our other network marketing company, we were taught that you have to pique somebody's interest, you have to show them a presentation, and then you get an expert on the line so that they can explain everything. And I understood that, but a lot of people who are brand new kind of do it themselves. And we just explain it to people that you have to get the expert on there because it's kind of like dating. Like, I'll give you an example. If Tiffany, if somebody wanted to introduce me to Tiffany, they would basically, let's look at it like this. Let's just say Tiffany and I were trying to go out on a date, and I started to brag to her about what I have. I have my own business. I got a nice car. I got a nice house. She would look at me like I'm crazy. However, if Jazz says, hey, Tiffany, I know a good guy. You know, he's all about his business. He got a beautiful, you know, he's a beautiful guy. I mean, beautiful guy. He basically got a beautiful daughter. He's a father, you know, has a beautiful house, drives a nice car. It's going to pique her interest. So that's why you use the third-party validation. So what you did, Jazz, is you switched it up a little bit. And all we do now is we actually get the third party involved first, and then we share the information, and then we invite them to a presentation. So it's that simple, 3SP. So all we do with brand new people, as soon as they start, we say, hey, do me a favor. Can you text this to a couple of your friends? Say, hey, friend, or hey, Jazz, do you have a quick second? And everybody's like, yeah, I can do that. I'm like, all right, we'll do it now. So we do it to 3 to 5 people.
They send out a bunch of, like, all at the same time. Just send out individual text messages to everybody.
So we send them out to the individuals. Whoever responds and say, yes, I'm available, or hey, what's up? We do this. This is phase 1. So I want you to write this down. Phase 1 is you actually, when they say yes, you actually call the prospect with the expert on the line. That's the first thing. Now, once the prospect picks up the phone, this is all you say. You say, hey, Jazz, I have a good friend, Tiffany, on the line. You want to let them know right away that your expert is on the line. You say, hey, we were talking and your name came up. And you say, Tiffany is a very successful entrepreneur in whatever city you're in. And then you say, hey, you know, this is what I usually say. I say, hey, okay, cool. So I'll say, hey, hey, Tiffany, or hey, Jazz, I got my good friend Tiffany on the line. We were talking and your name came up. Tiffany is a very successful entrepreneur in the Atlanta area, and she has some big projects going on. And she asked me if I knew anybody that might be interested in making some extra money. And obviously I thought of you. So Tiffany, this is Jazz. Jazz, this is Tiffany. And that's all we do, guys. That's the first phase right there. So I guess the last part didn't pop up. So that's simple. So you guys can screenshot this here. This is all that we do every single day. Now, when I was doing this with our brand new girl, Megan, again, she reached out to 11 people, 10 people got on the phone or got on the actual presentation. And then Tiffany just took everything to the next level. So I'm letting my beautiful wife take over from here so that you guys can see what do we say when we get the individual on the other line.
There it is. So yeah, so you just introduce us. Okay. Sorry. Here we go. We're hitting at the same time. So guys, when I heard Ton and Jazz talking on the phone, and then when I heard Ton helping one of our newest young people making calls, you know, I was trying to listen into what he was saying, and I come from a sales background too. So Jazz always teases me about my scripts, but I write everything out because I need to sound professional and make sure I have it all together. So when I get someone on the call, I'm saying, you know, hey, Nicole, I asked Megan, who does she know? And who does she know that was all about their business? And she said you. That's true. We were looking for people. I asked her, you know, who are you guys? You know, who do you know that might want to make some extra money? And that person said that person. Great. So then I introduced myself. I say, hey, I'm a wedding photographer with my husband, and we own multiple businesses here in Atlanta. But about 2 years ago, a personal friend of ours introduced us to some millionaires. True story. We're currently connected with them in a platform that we will be discussing later on a special webinar this evening, and would like to invite you. They're excited, like, okay, great. Is there anything holding you back from jumping on this webinar with us tonight at 8 p.m. so everything can be explained? And then they say yes or no, you know, and that's fine. If they say no, we just stop there. If they say yes, then I remind them the webinar starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. So please get on 5 minutes early. We expect a lot of people, and we want to start on time. Now here's the kicker. This is the amazing part, guys. I'm talking to someone's guest, and I get their guests to invite their guests, and they're not even in yet. So I say, so let me ask you a question. I don't know if I can do this, but if I can give you a few extra spots for tonight's webinar, do you think you could bring along 2 or 3 more people that also might be interested in making some extra money? Everybody says, I think I might know someone, or my best friend. Everybody knows 1 or 2 people that they want to see this at the same time. So again, the webinar is at 8 p.m. It's over at 8:30, and we will call you at 9:10 p.m. So now I've set an appointment. They're expecting my call, so they have to get on the call because they're going to expect us to call them together. And if, just in case, they start asking questions like, well, what is it? It's, you know, it's not about that. So inviting, we're just inviting. We're not presenting right now. You know, we got the sauce. So we don't owe anybody any explanation at this point. So if somebody kind of asks me what it is about, I say, you know what, let me ask you a question. If I could show you a way to make money without recruiting or selling, would you be open to taking a look at it? They're like, yeah, of course. All right, the webinar starts at 8 p.m. Make sure you're 5 minutes early. We expect a lot of people, and we want to start on time. And that's it. So you guys can take a picture of that and kind of make it your own. And it's been working really well. And the beautiful thing about it is that your guest or your new person starts building confidence, and they get excited, and they want to share with people. So I have about 3 or 4 girls that are young, you know, they're single moms, and this is their first time in network marketing. And so I'm able to kind of work with them. And so when we tell people we support you and we're going to help you, that's what this looks like. So now all of them are able to invite themselves in on their own, or they even invite and they add me into the text message on the front end. So as soon as we're done with this, we have them, I say, listen, we're going to create a group text message. So when it's over, I can call them and answer questions. They know who I am, because at the end of the day in networking, we're building relationships. So I even talked to some of these people. They haven't come in yet. I'm just working with them, answering questions, making sure they have everything they need so they can make a decision. So, so that's what this is all about. And I always let my new person know that, you know, I'm going to show you respect, and I'm going to show the people you introduce me to respect. And I try to make sure I'm always friendly, respectful, and kind on the phone, so that way they feel comfortable introducing me to their network, because that's what it's all about. We want to get to people so we can get into their network. Okay, so we can actually go back to phase 1 so you can get the picture. I see a question in there. So yeah, so that first phase, literally I send the first phase to our new people. They take a picture of it, and literally they just say it word for word over the phone. And the person never knows they're reading the script. That's it. And it's just been really amazing. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So real quick, guys, I want to ask you a real quick question. So I know the answer to this, but you guys just recently hit Platinum 2000. You guys, let's be transparent. We got 86 plus people on this call. How long were you guys at Platinum 1000? And when you made that shift to go from Platinum 1000 to Platinum 2000, I know you were like 20 something sales, and then you just walked it down. And like, can you tell that story? Because I remember talking like one week and you were like, yo, I'm this many sales away, or this many sales close. And then I remember talking the next couple of days, you were like, yo, I'm this many sales close. Then I remember talking like the next 24 hours, you text me like, it's done. And I'm like, yo, so do you guys mind just breaking that down real briefly?
Absolutely. So we hit P600 very quickly and P1000, you know, within our first couple of months. And we sat at P1000 for over a year. We've been consistently at P1000. We lost it a couple of times and then got it right back. But we were sitting there because we really weren't fully into IML. We have other businesses. We were trading, making a little bit of money here and there. And it wasn't until about maybe a month ago when I had this conversation with you. I think it was on the 8th of last month. We were 19 sales close, because we always say we're close to the next rank. And I just said, you know what, it's time. Like with this COVID-19, we just made a decision, because we're wedding photographers, guys. Like, we're not shooting any weddings until September. All of our weddings have been pushed back. So my wife and I, we were doing our daily walks, and we just made a decision, like, you know what, babe, it's time. It's time for us to go ahead and just walk this down. The first phase is Platinum 2000. And then we'll hit 5,000 in Chairman 10. So literally we were 19 sales close maybe 2.5 weeks ago. And I put my number on the board, and every day we were just focusing on how many people we would show this information to. So we 19 sales close, and then we went to 14 or 15, then we went to 10. And then I think the last weekend we were like 5 sales. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. And we did it. And we were on the phone with you and Tyra when we logged in and noticed that we hit P2000.
Major. That's major. Listen, thank you guys so much for that amazing training. Guys, please go back, watch this recording, study it. I promise you it works, especially for a brand new person coming into the industry, you know, not knowing what to say, feeling like, you know, I have to do everything. And you want your brand new reps to understand, like, they don't have to do all the heavy pulling. I typically like to share with people who are coming into business. I love to share with people who are coming into business. Look, just focus on inviting and trading, and let the team do the rest. Depending on the team that you're plugged into, guys, your team possibly is having, business calls, presentations every single night. So find out what time your team is having those presentations and make sure you're plugging into it. So guys, what I want to do is get into the second phase of our training. And so what I'm going to do real briefly is actually share my screen time. Tiff, thank you guys so much for bodying that first half of this presentation. Like, you guys just killed it. So guys, I want to talk about now that next phase. So now you understand how to actually invite and how to start creating traction in your business. And so that next phase for me in my business was learning how to actually build through and learning how to create duplication in my business. And so what I always like to say is, ask yourself, if everyone did what you did today, what would your business look like, right? And the name of the game is duplication. Like, that's the name of the game. And you have to always remember, if your business isn't growing, it's typically because you're not duplicating, right? Or maybe you are duplicating, but you're duplicating the wrong behaviors. And so what you have to do is get to a place where you never allow duplication to die at your feet. So now I just want to talk to individuals, right? So if you're on this call, and you don't have to call yourself out, but if you don't have, and this is, I'm just speaking about the business side, not more so the trading, but just the business in this moment. So if you don't have the minimums, right? Or the question you got to ask yourself is, have I met the minimums, right? So ask yourself again, have I met the minimums? So what are the minimums? Well, the minimum on the business side is Platinum 150. So you plus 3. So if you have not met the minimums, like if you're on this call and you haven't met the minimums, that means you're not a P150. That means that possibly duplication, right, has died at your feet. So if the answer is no, then duplication has died at your feet. But listen, guys, listen, if that's you, no worries. You can start over right now and make a commitment to simply meet the minimums. Set a goal, make a list, begin to invite like your life depended on it, and don't sleep until you show your team that duplication won't die at your feet. See, now you guys have a blueprint on how to invite. If you're, a Platinum 600, Platinum 1000, you're pushing to get to that next level and you want to learn how to help other people create success. You guys now have that blueprint coming from what Ton and Tiff just gave you. So there's another thing called broken links of duplication, where it's like, has duplication just died in your business? And this is like, and I just wrote it word for word, so I didn't have to veer off and stay on track. But has duplication died after you? You may, have gone scholarship, platinum 150, platinum 600, but then no one after you did anything in your business. So always remember this. This is one key rule that I had to always remember when growing and building my business. 1 is none, 2 is 1. So here's the reality. You can enroll someone into your business, and most people get extremely excited, but you have to realize that it's that person's first day as well. And so 1 is none. So if I enroll Camille, I can't just stop and celebrate and be like, yeah, I got my first one. No, that's not how this works. The way this works is when we enroll someone, now it's their first day, and it's my time to help her get to her next level and help her grow. So until I help her grow, it doesn't even count. So 1 is none, 2 is 1. So if I enroll Camille and help Camille enroll someone, boom, that's 1. And if you keep that mindset, I think that could really help you. So here's some questions, or a question more so. What should I be duplicating? What are some things that you should be duplicating in your business? So launch events, right? So launch events is something that I push everybody, including myself, to always make sure I'm duplicating in my business. So what is a launch event? A launch event is just where you invite your friends and family to an online meeting, a house meeting, a hotel meeting, a phone call meeting. I don't care, like just a meeting, and you share with them exactly what it is that we're doing. And so when we're launching, so if I enroll Camille and she got started today, I want to make sure I'm launching her business within the next 24 to 48 hours. How is that possible? Well, we have online meetings. A lot of people are doing Zoom calls due to COVID-19. So it's no reason that I can't get her launched within the next 24 to 48 hours. The second thing that we're focusing on and focusing on creating duplication around is easy ones, right? Which is her top 3 to 5. So as Camille may launch within the next 24 to 48 hours, I'm encouraging her, hey, just push to get your top 3 to 5. In the beginning, I just want to work on relationship marketing, right? That's where my focus wants to be, because a lot of people, the biggest mistake I see when I'm building is people, when making their list, and they're making that list for easy ones, they put on the list people that they think will do it. And I think that's the biggest mistake you can make when building your business. Don't put on the list of people you think will do it. Put on, like, the question that I ask is, who do you know? Not who do you know that you think will do it, but genuinely just who do you know? Because if you take the script that Ton and Tiff just gave you and you apply that to your top 3 to 5 friends, and you say, look, I thought about you. I'm working with some millionaires. I thought about you, and I want to introduce you to them. I want to get you on the phone with them. Your best friend, they're not going to look at you crazy because you have trust, you have credibility, you have these things, you have relationship with that person. See, sometimes it can be difficult to build, scale, and grow your business because we're convincing versus focusing on relationships. See, people are going to do it sometimes because it's you. It's not really, because a lot of times when we show people this, some people don't get it right away. They don't know that you can go and make hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars doing what we're doing. They haven't been exposed to that type of lifestyle, so they don't know. So one of the key things that's going to get them in position to just take a look at it is relationship. The fact that you have relationship. The third thing that I always say you should really push that make sure you're duplicating in your business is inviting 3-way phone calls and edification. And that, again, that is the piece in the script. It's already in the script that Ton and Tiff gave you. So you don't have to even, you don't have to recreate the wheel. It's already there, right? So those are some things. Now, as a leader, you got to remember, you have to build it. See, guys, there was a point in time in my business when we hit chairman and I completely took my foot off the gas. Like, I thought I made it. It was like, I thought that's what, like coming from where I came from, making $10,000 a month is like life changing. So that was it, And I realized if I take my foot off the gas, the team gonna take their foot off the gas, right? If I'm not out here building, if I'm not out here in the trenches, the team ain't gonna be out here in the trenches. My business ain't gonna grow. Like, my business is gonna go backwards. So as a leader, you have to make sure you're building it. You gotta make sure you're on those phone calls. Don't, like, I believe there is a time to delegate, certain things. But early on, I'm not gonna make my brand new person do the prezo, do all this stuff by themselves. I need them. I want to first work on their belief and show them that they can actually do this and scale their business. The next phase is, you as a brand new person, you have to work the stories that you're hearing. Like, that's your job. If you're coming into this business and you're a platinum 150, a platinum 600, a platinum 1000, learn how to work the stories. Guys, we got to a phase, and I'll try to share little pieces of my journey, but I remember being at a phase where when I would get on the call, it was all about me, 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 me. This is what I did. This is the amount of money that I made. And it was just me, 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 me. And I had to have a moment and say, okay, this ain't it. Like, this ain't it, because it's not working. And the reason it wasn't working is because it was always, my best day was this. My best week was this. And so I had to transition. And I went back to what got me to where I am, which is, I went back to talking about Dr. Jewel Tanker, Dr. Kathy Kirkland. And I started, like, Dr. Jewel did a testimony for my grandma, right? Like 2 days ago or whatnot. And again, I'm not making it about me anymore. Dr. K, I'm always using her story. I'm always getting her on testimonies or whatnot, and I'm sharing her story. So I say that to say this: as a brand new person coming into business, work the stories that you hear. You see somebody in the chat, they on fire, they killing it. Call them up. Hey, listen, I see you killing this thing. You're a single mom. I have, a friend. She's also a single mom. I would love for you to be able to share your story with her. So get to a place where you're working the story. See, and why do I say working those stories are important? Well, it's important because a lot of people feel like, well, I haven't created success. And I hear it all the time. I'll start building the business once I ... Once I ... And I want to let you know, it's not about you. It's not about your, like, how much money you've made, how many pips you've caught. It's not about you. Make it about Camille. Make it about Dr. Jewel. Make it about Dwayne. Make it about Dr. China. Make it about somebody else. Tell somebody else's story. And in doing that, I believe you can really grow and scale your business. So remember this. This sums it up, guys. The name of the game is to master the minimums so you can achieve the maximum. And so going back to the main topic, it's duplication. Don't allow duplication to die at your feet. If you're on this call and you are not a platinum 150, right, and you're building the business and you're not a platinum 150, duplication die at your feet. And no, there's no disrespect to that. It's just, here's the thing. If you don't go show 3 more people, how will the business continue to grow? It won't grow. It's dead. Your roots are dead. So you have to make sure it's not dying at your feet. So you got to make sure you go meet the minimums. And then once you meet the minimums, guess what? Now you have a blueprint of where you can take the people that you're bringing into the business and you can give them an invite script and you can teach them how to now go do what you did and you go put in the work. So guys, that's pretty much it. I got one last thing I want to share with you guys, if I can pull it up. And it's this scripture that I've been studying. And so oftentimes in your business, belief, like it really boils down to belief. And I want to just share something with you guys that I've studied. It's really helped me in my journey to grow. And it's Philippians 4:6. And Philippians 4:6 states, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer. In my Bible, it says supplication. But it says that don't be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Here's the reality, guys. Anxious. If we look up the definition of anxious, and I went on ahead and did it for you, it's experiencing worry, unease, nervousness, typically about an imminent event, something with an uncertain outcome. So what I want you guys to understand is you can't be anxious about your business. You can't be stressed out about, man, I'm not a platinum 600 yet. Man, I'm not a P1000 yet. Anytime you get that feeling of anxiety that comes over your body, that feeling of nervousness, that feeling of unease, like that's not a good feeling. And you have to reject and delete right away, right? And so Philippians 4:6 states, don't be anxious for anything, but in every situation by prayer and supplication is what my Bible states. By every situation in prayer, supplication. Supplication is the action of asking or begging for something earnestly. So you, like, whenever you're pushing or putting your request out to God, you have to do it earnestly. You got to beg for it. You can't just say, yeah, I want to hit P6. Yeah, I want to hit P1. Yeah, and now I'm talking about that belief part. I'm going somewhere, so just stick with me for these last 2 minutes. So you can't just say, oh, I want to hit P1. But you got to beg for it. You got to put that thing out there. And I had to break this down because I didn't know what some of these words meant. So I said, okay, what tells me I got to do it earnestly? What does that mean? And so this is resulting from showing sincere and intense conviction. So when you're putting your requests out to God of where it is that you want to go, what it is that you want to do, like, you got to be convicted by that thing, right? So being convicted by something is a firmly held belief. That's basically what it's saying. So in this scripture, it's telling you, don't be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and supplication, right? Which is a firmly held belief. You got to beg. You got to put that thing out there to the universe. And that last piece of conviction, it says a firmly held belief. And belief simply is an acceptance that a statement is true and that something exists. And so all this scripture is telling you is don't be anxious about nothing. Don't be uneasy about anything. Already know that it's already done. You have to know that it's already done before you even begin the journey. And sometimes we don't get to where we want to go in this business, in our life. It's simply because we don't believe it. So what you have to do is you have to take that statement. You got to hold on to it. When you give it to God, you got to beg for it. You got to give it to him every single day. It has to be a firmly held conviction, a firmly held belief, something that you're talking about. You got to focus on that thing every single day. Talk about that thing every single day. Guys, there was a time when we hit chairman. Dr. Jewel knows we hit chairman. We went back to platinum 2000. Platinum 2000. I lost my belief. I didn't know which direction to go. I didn't know what to do. It was like, man, I like chairman to platinum 2000. From chairman to platinum 2000. And the only thing I could do at that point was believe. The only thing I could do at that point was write it down and just say, look, and give it to God. There was nothing else I can do. My business went back that far. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I know that it works. You have to understand, when we went back, it was times where I was anxious. It was times where it says here, don't be anxious about anything, right? There was times where I was uneasy. There was times where I was nervous, like, man, what's gonna happen next? There was times where I just didn't know, but I knew that I couldn't hold on to that feeling, or I couldn't hold on to that state of being or whatnot, during that moment. And all I had left was my belief. And so I know that it's true and that it works, guys. So I want to encourage you, Philippians 4:6, again, don't be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication and thanksgiving, give your request to God. And so write it down. Make it real. When it comes to creating duplication in your business, that is so real. So many people come into the industry and yeah, they can put somebody in, but they don't know how to build a network marketing company. They don't know how to build a network marketing business. They think it's about the post that you're posting online. They think it's about looking the part. No, it's not about looking the part. I'm on the phone with Ton and Tiff every single day, making those phone calls. I'm talking, you might see, you see us, Dr. Jewel, everybody else, but behind the scenes, they are making those phone calls. They're on the phone 24/7 all the time. So I just want to encourage you guys, hopefully you guys are encouraged through this message that yes, you can go build this business. Yes, it's not about if you don't feel like you're the most talented person, I promise you can still go chairman. You just got to have the right system and believe in that system. So I want to encourage you, please start believing today that it's for you. Start believing today that it is yours. Like, you can go do it and you can accomplish it. So again, guys, Chairman 10, Platinum Leaders Ton and Tiff, soon to be Chairman Leaders Ton and Tiff. Hopefully, guys, this was valuable to you. And what I want to do is just open this thing up to any other leaders starting out, any other chairman leaders who have anything. Dr. Jewel, do you have anything, ma'am? Camille, I'm trying to see who's all on here.
I'm just gonna say this was great. Like, I've been in the chat with my team the whole time. Like, y'all on? Do y'all hear this? Do this, do this. Like, if you're not at 150, we're going to get the minimum so we can get the maximum. Like, your nuggets were so on point. So I just want to say thank you for, sharing this information with us. And, it's up from here. So I'm excited. So thanks for sharing.
No, thank you. Thank you guys for allowing us. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to be on the call. Any other chairman leaders that have anything, I don't want to just shut it down. I see we got Dwayne. I seen we had Dwayne on this bad boy. It's too many names to go through the chat, but I just want to make sure I open up the floor to anybody who has anything, any announcements, just anything, guys, before we pass it either back to Dr. Drew or we close this bad boy on out.
Hey, Jazz, this is Angela Pipersburg. I just wanted to say thank you for this. The question that I have for you is, what can we do? Because like Camille, I was just texting my leaders, like, are you on? Are you on? Why aren't you on? Why aren't you on? And so, so any ideas or suggestions as to what we can do to get them even more engaged? Because, the key here is showing up. Any recommendations that you would have? And this was so perfect that I have to go back and share it with my team, but it would have been easier if we were all here.
Yes, ma'am. I can share with you what I chose to do. And I wish I would, if I had the time, I would run downstairs and get the paper. But I remember for me personally, I wrote down my goals. And when I wrote down my goals, I was like, okay, with this many sales from the next rank, and in order to get to that next rank, we would need to create this many brand new platinum 1000s, this many brand new platinum 600s. So I shared that with you to say in that moment I had an awakening because I was so tuned in and focused on the group that I was working with. And one thing I know about this industry is oftentimes the people that got you to where you are right now today aren't going to be the people that's going to get you to that next level. So the way I've been taught is if you have 10 cows and you need to produce 10 gallons of milk, but every cow doesn't produce a gallon each. Some cows, they just produce, a half a gallon. Other cows may produce a quarter gallon. Some cows may just eat and poop all day and they just there. Right. And that's okay. So instead of you getting upset, and you don't sound upset or anything, this is just, how I share with me. But instead of, maybe getting upset or saying, oh, these cows aren't working or these cows aren't producing milk, just go buy more cows. Just go get you more cows. And that's what I had to do in my business. I just had to say, you know what? I'm going to go create more leaders. I'm going to go find other people that genuinely want it versus like continuously hitting my head trying to push, a certain group to get to see what I see. So my advice is, again, for me, just just continue to do what you need to do. Like, yes, focus on the squad, but as I swear to you, here's what I sum it up. Here's the quote: personal momentum beats group momentum every time, because personal momentum creates group momentum. So in any situation in your business, when you may feel like, maybe how you're feeling, I go back to personal momentum. Let me just focus on creating personal momentum for me. Let me pack out my calendar. Let me just focus on me doing the right thing and everyone else seeing me do the right thing. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. That's going to help me, get to where I need to go. So that was what shifted for me. And when we started working with new traders, new IBOs, new people creating new stories, it was a breath of fresh air for me, right? It was a really good breath of fresh air, but my leaders needed to see me go and work with other people too. So sometimes like your leaders just need to see you just doing it, because believe it or not, guys, I hate to say it, but everybody's not always going to be all in. Just because they sign up for I Am Mastery Academy and you see them get on a session or two, then that doesn't necessarily mean that they are all in. And there's two phases in somebody's I Am Mastery Academy journey in life. And phase one is when they get into I Am Mastery Academy. Phase two is when I Am Mastery Academy gets into them. And so with some people, and Miss Angela, I'm not speaking to you directly at this point, just as a whole, guys, with some people, I Am Mastery Academy hasn't gotten into them just yet. So you can't expect for them to do what you're doing, because you all in. It's in you. See, for me, it's in me. Like, I was talking to a group of leaders yesterday, And they were saying like, what do you mean you can't make a call? What do you mean you can't get onto a session? What do you mean? It didn't make sense to them because to that specific group, this was what is gonna create generational wealth for our families. This is what's going to allow us to be able to buy properties. And for me, you know, my goal is to pay off my mom's house. She owed, you know, whatever, like that's my goal. So like when I align this, what we're doing with my goals, it becomes a must do. Like I go to bed every night knowing what I need to do tomorrow to accomplish in my business, because I know what accomplishing that in my business is going to do for my personal life. I think a lot of times most people haven't connected the goals from their personal life to the goals of I Am Mastery Academy, and figuring out how knocking out this over here in I Am Mastery Academy can help clear up so many of these goals. So if I can encourage anybody who's not as consistent, because I wasn't always consistent. I'm gonna be real. Like that's something that you have to work on. You have to work on consistency. The same way you work on it going to the gym is the same way you got to work those muscles when it comes to building this business. So if I can encourage anybody in this journey, which is to do this, find your why, really write it down. Write down, you know, okay, I'm this much in debt. I'm this much in credit card debt. Or I got this goal, and really connect the dots. If I hit this rank, if we can do this, that can knock out this goal over here. And so when I started to connect the two, you start to get emotional, because another part of that belief system is you got to get emotionally involved in it. See, some people ain't emotionally involved. See, I go to bed every night thinking about this. I wake up thinking about this thing. I'm emotionally involved because I know, following Dr. Jewel Tanker, she's going to take us to the promised land. I know that this is a chance, a chance of a lifetime. It's not many, like, let's just be real, you know, and I'm far from racist, but it ain't many other places as a young African-American male I can go and knock on the door of making $25, $50, $100,000 a month. There aren't many other places where somebody's going to tell me, teach me, and coach me on what to do with the money once I make it. It ain't many other millionaires that's getting on the call like Dr. Jewel and some of the other millionaires that's on here every day at 11 o'clock. So you got to wake up and you got to smell the coffee, and y'all got to understand what we got our hands on. See, now ain't the time to play around. Now is not the time to play around. If I could show y'all, I'm going to show you guys something. And forgive me for just going off, but I really want to show you guys something, because I think this kind of stuff is really important to understand. And so you got to realize where you are in business and in your life and with this whole situation. So check this out, guys. This is what I want you guys to see, right? So I took these screenshots when I was scrolling on social media. And so here's the thing. 43 states have record unemployment. Victoria's Secret is closing 25% of its stores. JCPenney filed for bankruptcy and then turned around and closed 30% of its stores as a part of the bankruptcy plan. And then I don't know if y'all, like for me, I'm a dad. We cook 3 times a week since these kids been out of school. I mean, 3 times a day since these kids been out of school. And one thing I noticed, the price of beef skyrocketed.
You can't see your screen, homie.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Can you guys see it now?
I see your PowerPoint.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was sharing. Okay, I'm gonna just do it from this angle. So can you guys see these?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So check this out, guys. So 43 states filed for record unemployment. Victoria's Secret is closing 25% of its stores. JCPenney filed for bankruptcy and then turned around and closed 30% of its stores as a part of that bankruptcy plan. The price of beef, groceries skyrocketed. Pier 1 wants to close all of its stores. I was in Clarksville, Tennessee a couple days ago, and I noticed there was a Pier 1 empty, nothing in it. GE cut 13,000 jobs because of the pandemic. 20.5 million jobs were lost in the month of April. But this is what y'all got to understand. There's a flip side to everything I just said. The money didn't disappear. Dr. Jewel said this once. She said, do you think the money disappears during a recession? Nah, it don't go away. What you think, they just burn all the money and say, oh, there's a recession, the money's gone, it disappeared? Absolutely not. Guys, there's a transfer of wealth. U.S. billionaires have become $565 billion richer during the pandemic. So you got to understand that you're in the right place at the right time, but it's up to you to realize it. So if you haven't decided to go all in just yet, if you haven't decided that this is it, nothing else matters. Like, here's the thing. Here's the reality of the conversation for me. Here's my reality. There's no such thing as, oh, I can't do this presentation because I got to do ... No, it's I can't do ... because I got to do a presentation. Oh, I can't go there because I got to do a presentation. It's not, oh, I can't get on the call because I got to. No, this is it. This is the only it. Everything else around us has shut down. I don't know about your business, but my business has grown. I don't know about your income, but my income has grown. In the last 2 days, I made $2,000 trading. Yesterday, I made $1,000. This is it. This is it. There's no other option. So if you're not all in at this point, hopefully the economy has helped you decide that now's the time to go all in. If you look around and you see, when everything else shut down, when they said you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to the gym, you can't go to that lounge that you like to go to, you can't go wherever it is that you like to, they shut all that down. And the only thing that kept moving and kept running was this. So if you still making excuses as to why you can't show up to a training, a presentation, a business call, a 3-way phone call, then this just ain't for you, and you meant to be on the other side. It's 3 sides to a coin: heads, tails, and then the edge. And so if you're still making excuses of why you can't build your business, and that was me, I'm not fussing at you. I was that guy. I would make excuses. Oh yeah, I can't do the prezo tonight, man. I gotta, I would just make excuses. But the truth is, this is it. This is it. This has to be the all in. So please, I want to encourage you guys, like, nobody's coming to save you. Stop waiting on your upline. If I could say, stop waiting on your upline to host that training call. Stop waiting on, if you know, like our team, we talked about this. If you're a platinum 600, you're a platinum 1000, and you know you just put in 4 or 5 brand new people and none of them know how to calculate pips, you need to take your business and say, you know what? You need to take your business and say, look, I'm going to take the initiative and teach these 4 or 5 people how to calculate pips. You think I'm going to sit back and wait for Dr. Jewel to do a how to calculate pips training for the new people that I just put in? No, because Dr. Jewel is pushing and building her business. You think I'm going to wait for Camille, to do? No. So what I want to challenge you guys to do is take it, like, you got to take responsibility of your business. You got the blueprint. You now know how to invite. Is it going to be hard? No. Is it going to be hard? No. But is it going to be nerve-wracking? Yeah. Are you going to be nervous? Yes. Are you going to be terrified? Yes. Are you going to be scared of what people may say about you? Yes. But why is Philippians 4:6 so powerful? Be anxious for nothing, uneasy, nervous. Like it tells you in the scriptures, don't be anxious about anything. It's going to be all right. You just got to write it down and you got to give it to God. But when you write it down and give it to God, you got to be convicted by it. You got to believe it. It got to be a firmly held belief. And you got to do it, like you got to beg for that thing, and you got to take responsibility. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that it's going to be a cakewalk. Guys, we've hit chairman, lost chairman, hit chairman, lost chairman, hit chairman, lost chairman. The upline know. They know the vibes. I'm not on here to pretend like I'm just, yeah, we hit. No, I've been the chairman in this company since 3 months of coming in the door. You think I don't want to be a chairman 25? Absolutely. But guess what I had to do? I had to keep on believing. I had to not be anxious about anything, but in everything with prayer and supplication and thanksgiving, gratitude, knowing that it's already done, right? I had to give my request to God. And I just had to know. So I just want to encourage you guys that you can go and do this. You can go and build your business. You can go create duplication in your, like, whatever it is that you want, you can go and get it done, guys. You can go get it done. I was on a call last night with Bryce Thompson, and he said 3 years. Give yourself 3 years. Give yourself 3 years in this industry. 1, 3, 5, 7. The first year, that's just you. That it's gonna take you a year just to figure out what this is all about. Some of y'all have never done network marketing before. Some of y'all you haven't even started your book collection on the industry yet. So you got to give yourself that first year just to figure out what it is that you're a part of and what you got your hands on. See, I didn't even know this thing was that big. So I started hanging out with Dr. Jewel, and then I went to her house and I was like, okay, this is real. This ain't that other stuff. This the real. I pull up, Camille, excuse me, I hope you don't mind me saying it. She test driving Range Rovers. Most people who test drive cars do it at the dealership. She got 2 brand new Range Rovers parked in the front. So I'm just test driving. I said, oh, this real. It's gonna take that first year just to figure out what this is. And then 3 years, guys, it's gonna take 3 years to hit 6 figures. It'll take, or I'm sorry, 3 years to go full time. It's gonna take roughly 3 years to go full time. So my journey, we started in the industry in 2013, April 4th, 2013, right? By that first year, I was like, okay, invite, enroll, this is the gist. By 2016, 3 years later, I got out of the United States Air Force in September of 2016, 3 years to go full time. And that's 2016, 2018, right? 5 years later, I joined a second company, and within 3 months, I hit 6 figures. So it's gonna take 5 years typically to hit 6 figures. They say 1, 3, 5, 7. And then they say 7 years before you really know what you're doing. Guys, we're knocking on the door of our 7th year, and we're also knocking on the door of Chairman 25. Don't tell me the system doesn't work. Don't tell me the timeline doesn't work. You just got to stick it out. See, the only difference between me and the people that got started when I got started in April of 2013 is I didn't quit. Pay attention, get excited, never quit. I just didn't quit. What did I have my times and my moments? Yes, but I did not quit. 1, 3, 5, 7. First year just to figure it out. So if you guys have been in this thing and you're serious about it, give yourself 3 years. Give yourself 3 years and wait for the, I'm done. Yeah, I didn't want to keep y'all on here for an hour. We were supposed to be out for 30 minutes. I was like, this is going to be a quick call. Got my slides, and here we are. So nonetheless, guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for jumping on this call. Philippians 4:7, be anxious for nothing. Anytime you get a feeling of anxiety, I can't stress that enough. Do not allow yourself to get distracted. Stay on course. Reject it. You have the ability and the power to reject every negative idea. When you show the deal to somebody and in the back of your mind, you're like, man, they ain't gonna sign up. Reject that thought. Reject that thought. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, not some things, not 1 or 2 things, in everything, right? With prayer, supplication, thanksgiving, give your request to God and leave it at that. Guys, on behalf of myself, the entire organization, Dr. Jewel, Dr. China, Lawrence Young, Randy, Wanda Webb, Camille, Dwayne Lodge, all of the leaders that we have, Garrett Roberts, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for spending this last 50-something minutes with us. And I pray that this brought value to you and your business and your organization. Ton, Tiff, you guys body that. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great day.
Around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed. The sunshine on my Sunday best. Some days you wake up and nothing works, you feel surrounded. Gotta give your feet some gravity to get you grounded. Keep good things inside your ears just like the waves and sound it. And just say whatever, cause there is no way you're grounded. Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Getting good like I should. Raining purple all around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.